Tintin Wulia is a Balinese artist, so she was born in Bali, and she studied architecture in Bandung. Also, she has a degree in music scoring from the U.S. But she's firstly known as a filmmaker during early 2000s, and early 2000s was the time in Indonesia when the phenomenon of film and video is really intermingled. That's how she came into visual art. So her short film works were screened in several video festivals, including in gallery context. So that's how she got to know the art scene, the visual art scene, and then afterwards she continued working with visual artists and especially with video.
We are here now in Indonesian Pavilion in Venice, Biennale. What we are trying to display now in the pavilion is to reflect the artwork of Indonesian artists. The name is Tintin. What she is trying to display is the reflection of light by using multiple layers. In the multiple layers, she is trying to say that whatever layer you are equal to whether you are in the lower layer or in the top layers. There is no inequality in life. The important thing in this display today is that they are having a similar display in Venice and also in Senayan City in Jakarta. They are also trying to say that we live now in a borderless world. So the government of Indonesia, through the art work, try to say to the world that we live in an equal world, in a borderless world.
She's part of the generation of Indonesian artists who also experienced the change in '98, which is the Indonesian reform, and a lot of her works actually deal with also some issues that were not discussed a lot before, including the identity, the borders, and this work has to do with her previous works that also tell about this issue.
In Indonesia now, we are having a very, very difficult situation in living up with the advanced development of modernization. There is something that are now experiencing by many people in Indonesia, that there is a big hole in our heart. We do not have now spirit. We lost the spirit. What the artists now try to do is to regain the spirit and try to put it back into our heart, to fill the hole in our heart. So there is a kind of combination of effort to gain the spiritual that we are now almost lost, and then try to put it back into the wholeness of the Indonesian people. We are now living in 21st century, and Indonesian people are ready to live with that, keeping up with the modernization, but maintain our spiritual entity.
I think most of Tintin's work are well conceptualized and also thought-provoking.
So 1001 Martian Homes is a project of mine in the Indonesian Pavilion this year. 1001 is refers to the 1001 tales that Prince Scheherazade tells the king to avoid her death. So basically, they're tales of survival. And so in this project, I tried to expand space and time. And by doing that, I hope to recognize patterns in history that repeats. There are 3 works in the project, and the works are actually twin works. And so they are set in 2 places at the same time. One in Jakarta, in Senayan City Shopping Mall, and the other one is the pavilion, the Indonesian pavilion in Venice Biennale. And they're simultaneously interconnected, and the works are also simultaneously interconnected as well. The 3 works are called Not Alone, Under the Sun, and 1001 Martian Homes. So the video is also called 1001 Martian Homes, like the project. Not Alone is an installation of a dome. So half of the dome is in Venice and half of the dome is in Jakarta, and they're actually interconnected. Basically, they're mirroring each other, and they communicate. And so basically, there are 3 sensors in the dome, and the sensors react to you when they get your movement. They'll activate letters, basically. And the dome is actually a star map as well, and it's a star map of Sagittarius. Why Sagittarius? It's because Sagittarius is the area in the sky where the wow signal came from. Now, the wow signal is a strong narrowband signal that the NASA's big ears captured one night in 1977. And until now, this is the only near evidence of the existence of a creature out there whose intelligence is similar to us. And so the sensors would activate constellations. So as you know, constellations are imaginary lines between the stars, and we imagine it. And so basically in this installation, I imagine the lines to be lines that make up words, basically. So there are a few words. We are not alone, and basically we is activated with one sensor. The other sensor would activate are. The other sensor would activate not alone. And so if there are 3 people at either Senayan City or Venice Biennale, they would activate it. The sensor also sends the signals to the other dome, and so whatever is done here to the dome here is done to the dome there as well. And this sentence is actually part of one of the stories in the video 1001 Martian Homes. So 1001 Martian Homes is a collection of stories of survival, basically. The video itself, it's set in the year 2065. And people in the year 2065 talks about an event that happens in 2065, where a group of people were captured after a political conflict, and they were sent to Mars. And in Mars, they lived for 14 years, and they were made to work. So they were basically slaves. And so they were made to work and to become the first humans in Mars, and they were terraforming Mars, basically, to make Mars habitable for other humans. But that's a secret, and so in 2065, the children and the grandchildren are starting to find out, and they're starting to share the stories, basically. This work here is Under the Sun, and basically it talks about also that recursivity. Basically, you see this holes with eyes, and then on top of the stairs you see a peephole, and if you look inside, there is a room. It's like a studio. It's a small, or maybe a corner of a studio where all the works were being prepared. And you see a pendulum on the table, and then there's a monitor. On the monitor, you'll see your eyes as well, and your eye would be captured and fed into this collection of eyes here. So it will be played during the exhibition.